Hi kittens and welcome back. I'm Kat and this is the place where I talk about books and writing. So it is time for the Reading Rush. This is my first time ever participating in the Reading Rush, which used to be called Booktubeathon, by the way. And so I am super excited to see if I can read not 7 books in a week, but maybe 3 or 4. Stay tuned to see what I'm reading for each prompt of the Reading Rush. I could not find a book in my TBR to match the first prompt, which is purple on the cover. So if I get to the end of my recommended reading list for this month and I still don't have anything to read, I am going to be dashing to the library to grab something to match this one. The second prompt, however, is to read the same book in the same spot. So to pick a spot and only ever read the book in that spot until you finish the book. You can, get up and move away and come back, but you need to be in that spot. And for this, I'm going to be picking my first ever cozy mystery to get cozy with, and that is Banned for Murder. Ba-ching! This book is about a librarian whose friend is trying to run for mayor when a skeleton is discovered on her friend's grandparents' farm, I think, where they used to have a hippie commune in the 60s. Now they are trying to figure out who killed this person back then, so her mayor career is not destroyed when some of the old hippies start turning up dead. Suddenly the heat is on and they need to figure out what is going on before more people kick the proverbial bucket. I'm actually really excited to get my first cozy mystery, to read my first cozy mystery, so let's see how it goes. The third prompt is a book that you meant to read last year. Now I was actually struggling quite hard with this one because I tend to read books that I that I want to read pretty fast, unless they are technical books for work, in which case it takes me like a year to read one. But for this one, I realised that I bought Elizabeth is Missing on Kobo. It was my first ever Kobo purchase and I was like, I'm gonna read this book and I'm gonna love it. And then I didn't even remember that I had bought it. Do you ever do that? Do you ever just buy a book and then forget to read it? I mean, is it just me? I forgot I even owned it. That's the trouble with ebooks. If you have the same problem, just comment down below, forgotten, and I will know exactly where we stand. The fourth book is to read a debut or the author's first book, and for this one I'm going to be picking another one of my NetGalley picks. For this one I'm going to be picking The Forgotten Past. This book is about the smaller stories and the kind of like forgotten things that happened in history that we don't focus on because they're not about kings and queens. I have read the first short story just to see if I wanted to pick this one up, and it was about the first ever manned flight, which was not who you think it was. So it was actually really interesting and I'm looking forward to learning more. The fifth prompt is to read a book with a non-human main character. Now there are a couple that come to mind, usually from the perspective of dogs. There is Black Beauty, if you haven't read it, which is from the perspective of a horse, which is beautiful, by the way. If you haven't read Black Beauty, get on that. But I haven't got any of them in my TBR right now, so I will get back to you if I pick one up. The sixth prompt is to read a book with 5 or more words in the title, and I have picked The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, which the half of which is almost 5 words, so we've got enough words in the title for this one. It looks really small, but it's actually like super tiny writing, so we'll see. We will see if I enjoyed this or not, because, Anyway, it does look really good. It was a really big book last year, so hopefully I will enjoy it, and that's my pick. And the final prompt is to read a book and then read the book-to-movie adaptation. For this one, I'm going to be choosing one of the Jane Austens I haven't read before, and I think I'll be reading Sense and Sensibility. Although I might change my mind and read a different classic, it is Jane Austen month, so it would be good to maybe hook into that, and I did just read Pride and Prejudice in Swedish as an easy reader, so, you get me. But that is my plan. If you're also taking part in the Reading Rush Readathon, please link to your TBRs down below or just tell me what you're going to be reading, if you're going to be reading any of these that I have picked, if you're interested in any of these, and I will speak to you soon. I hope you have a great book and an amazing cup of tea, and I will see you guys next week. Not a corpse, what do you call it? A skeleton. So and finally,